Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to J-Tech Studios, baby. Today we want to go over the betting odds, or as I like to call it, the polls of Vegas. If you go to the screen real quick, John, this is real clear polling. Betting odds 2024 U.S. president for who's going to be president for 2024. And John had to explain this to me, and I'm going to have you explain it too. But historically, just for starters, the odds on online betting for the president historically has been pretty high as far as them determining the outcome of who's going to win the presidential election. So first, let's go to the betting odds data. For RCP, they got Trump 53.9%. They've got Harris at 44.9%. Bet Online has Trump at 56% and Harris at 45%. Betfair, Trump 52%, Harris 44%. Betson has Trump 55%, Harris at 44%. Bovada has Trump at 55%, Harris at 46%. BWin has Trump at 54%, Harris at 46%. Polymarket has Trump at 52%, Harris at 45%. And S Markets has Trump at 53% and has Harris at 44%.
So on average, we have about a 9% difference there.
About 9% difference. These are the betting odds for online gambling. If you wanted to bet on who the president of the United States would be, Trump versus Kamala Harris. And we go down to this graph right here, 2024 U.S. president. So Biden, Nikki Haley, Newsom, they're still in it down here low. What we're looking at here is the two top ones. Trump on the red, Biden right here is on the blue. Biden's still in the lead. At some point, Kamala's fixing to come onto this graph. It's still Biden. I think this probably is roughly around when the debate was. I forget when the debate was, but this says June 2025, where it takes a drastic decline in Biden. You go down here. There's
the debate was actually after the pew pew in the ear.
Was the debate after the assassination attempt? Well, Biden's dropping significantly.
That was, with Kamala. Are you talking about the debate with the Kamala?
Oh no, the RNC was after. Yeah, the RNC was after.
No, the debate with Biden.
Yeah, the debate with Biden was before the shot.
Yeah, so right here.
Yes, okay.
This is, I believe, where roughly. See if you can find what day the debate happened, but Biden takes a drastic decline right here. As you can see, it just drops. He's at 34.8%. This is June 23rd. Trump is at what is it, plus 17. So right here, Biden dips. Boom. It's a drastic dip. And then you go back and forth between Biden and Harris right here. And then when you come up this upslant, you've got Harris.
June 24th.
June 24th. And then so the drop was on June 24th. So this was the debate. Biden takes a downturn automatically, goes straight down, and it flip-flops. Biden, Harris, and then boom, they cooed Biden. They got Harris on the ticket, and then Harris starts upticking around June 22nd, June 21st to 22nd. She starts going up. Right here on June 22nd, she's at 32.3%. And Trump is at 58.7%. I would also like to mention this peak right here on Trump. This is July 13th right here. This is July 13th right here, where he's at 63.3%. That's when the assassination attempt happened on his life, 63.3%. And then he climbs a little bit higher to June 15th, and he goes to 66.2. So the word gets out that there was an assassination attempt on Trump's life on July 13th, and he goes from on the 13th at 60 63.3. The word spreads, and he's now 2 days later at 66.2%. Well, Trump starts to take a dip, probably because they nominated Harris. So follow my cursor right here. Harris is the new sugar in town. Everybody's on this sugar rush because Kamala is now running for president. She overtakes Joe Biden. So she's gaining steam simply because she's the new candidate for the Democratic Party. So they're gaining a lot of steam because of that. They're riding that sugar high, and then boom, right around August 4th, they kind of level back out again. Trump's still up at August 4th, 52.2%. Harris is at 45.8%. And then we go on with the graph. They're kind of roughly around the same, probably within the margin of error. Right here, we're at September 8th. Harris is at 47%. Trump is at 51.5%. And then we start to do a climb again on October 8th, roughly. Trump starts to climb back up real quick, and he's at 50. On October 14th, he's at 54.7. Harris is at 44.4. So she's starting to dive back down. That sugar high ran out of her being a new candidate. Trump's gaining more momentum as we go. It peaks again right here. This is October 29th. Trump is at 63.9%, and Harris is at 35% flat. And then from the 29th, if you go all the way over to the very end, it puts them at today, November 3rd. It's got Trump at 53.9% and Harris at 44.9%. If you'll go back to full screen real quick. And I'm sorry if that was confusing, guys. So this is kind of what we're saying. Newsweek, they say, according to aggregates by Bookmakers Review, betting odds have accurately predicted several of the most recent elections, with 77% of the expected candidates winning over the last 35 years. So over the past 35 years, they've accurately, on the betting markets, have predicted 77% of the president who wins the election. In the past 11 presidential elections since 1980, the only race where the winning candidate had worse odds than the losing candidate was in 2016. And in 2016, what happened? Who ran? That was Trump,
Hillary Clinton.
And Hillary Clinton. So both candidates on the betting market and the conventional pollings failed to predict a Trump win. So basically, the betting markets were incorrect big time, and the polling was incorrect big time in 2016, both claiming that Trump would lose the election. So it was a big upset on both the betting markets and the actual polling markets. Now, furthermore, it's probably worthy to mention BMR, Bookmakers Review. In the last 38 U.S. presidential elections since 1872, the betting favorite has won 27 times. So in the last 38 U.S. presidential elections since 1872, the betting favorite, the odds favorite, has won 27 out of the 38 times. Given there were three elections where the top candidates were tied in the betting odds. That was 1980, 1952, and 1880, 1952, and 1980, which means basically they predicted since 1872, what, eight?
They've had 8 wrong.
Eight wrong. The betting market, the online betting market has had 8 wrong, predicted 8 wrong elections since 1872, which is huge. That means in the last 35 years, when there was a clear favorite, that candidate won 77.1% of the time. As one would expect, having better odds like a negative 250, and this is where I'm going to have John jump in, And I want to point out how significant that is, guys. If you're looking for an accurate poll, follow the betting markets. Go online, type into Google or whatever, your search engine, and look up the online betting markets. They have historically predicted the elections over time. We're talking about into the 1880s accurately, okay, for the most part. So if you're looking for a good poll, that would probably be one to follow. It also says, as one would expect, having better odds like negative 250 instead of a closer favorite with negative 120 odds does increase the likelihood of winning. In fact, the recent change of 2024 with Donald Trump improving to negative 175 odds at Bet Online is significant. John, run us through a real quick version of what this means, because it confused me. I don't do a lot of gambling, so when I saw negative, I didn't comprehend. But I related it to like golf. The higher your score is on the betting market, the worse you're doing. The lower your score, the better you're doing. Go ahead.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. Is if you're at a plus 150 and the other guy is at a minus 150, your better bet would be to put the 150, the minus 150. So you'd end up putting your money on the 150, but it's not going to pay you as well. Now, if you're wanting to like make money on the odds, you'd bet on the higher number. The plus number would give you higher odds, and it'd be a bigger payout. The lower number is going to give you a lower payout.
Gotcha. And y'all might want to, if you're not into betting or anything, you may want to kind of read up on that to follow that. But the graph itself clearly shows you, like you would see at a poll, who's winning. That's just when they get more into the specifics of if you're actually placing a bet, what your odds are, and how much you would win if you bet $100. What are you going to get in return for that 100 if you do win? Worth mentioning as well, the biggest upset since 1872. This is on the betting market again, so we're going back to the betting market numbers. But the biggest upset since 1872 belongs to the incumbent Harry Truman in 1948, when he was plus 1,500 in the odds, well behind favorite Thomas Dewey, who was at negative 1,800 in the odds. But Truman won the Electoral College. Truman, he was a Democrat. He won the Electoral College, won fair and square. It was 303 to 228. And this was a huge upset. Again, this is 1872. So tell me, Truman, yeah, he was, no, I'm sorry. This was not 1872.
I was going to
This
say,
is, I was like, wait, 1872, Truman, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, since 1872 still belongs to Harry Truman in 1948, when he was plus 1,500 in the odds. Now, you've done probably some betting like this, and is 1,500 plus 1,500 a big number?
That is a very big payout.
It's a big payout?
Yeah, that 1,500. I mean, that's basically like betting $1, getting $1,500 back.
Okay, that's what that would equal out to roughly. So if you were to place roughly $1 on the bet, then you would get 1,500 back out of that dollar.
Yeah, but they typically don't let you just bet $1.
Right. But just to keep the math simple, because this is new to me as well, and I'm trying to learn it. Maybe I'll do a bet next election cycle. I don't know, but you got to know the numbers, I guess. And Thomas Dewey was at negative 1,800 odds, which means he was the favorite to win because he was the lowest. He was negative 1,800. So, like, I don't know if you could do the math on that one.
You want to bet on him.
You want to bet on him?
Probably should want to stay out of that betting line.
Because you know that you're not going to get nothing in return. You're not going to get nothing in return. Okay. So
the risk is not worth the payout.
The risk isn't worth the payout. But on this particular instance, and it is the biggest upset. And I apologize for misspeaking on the years. This was the biggest upset since 1872. I don't know what happened in 1872, why they say since 1872, but this
Probably
did.
because they hadn't counted.
Maybe that's when they
didn't
first
have online
started.
betting.
Yeah, probably
Or
so. Or
They definitely didn't have online betting. They probably didn't have a place to go bet on this.
bet on it. Okay. But we can go back real quick to this graph again. And I just want to point out that Trump 53.9 to 44.9, 56 to 45, 52 to 44, 55 to 44, 55 to 46, 54 to 46, Trump 52 to 45, and again Trump 53 to 44. It's roughly a 9-point margin that Trump does have the victory in 2 days.
I think I looked it up earlier. Is like 2 to 3 odds on Trump, which is so you have to bet $2 to make $3.
$2 to make $3.
Yeah. So if you bet $200, you'd get your money back plus 100.
Got you. And as it stands right now with Trump, this is today's date, November 3rd, 2024. Trump is at 53.9 and Harris is at 44.9, giving it an exact plus 9.0 Trump lead in the election. I'm counting this as my polls, guys. I'm not trusting the pollsters anymore. I do not think that people, go ahead and go back to full screen if you would. I do not think that people, when they're being polled, are actually telling the pollsters what they truly feel out of fear that they're going to get ostracized, or out of fear they're going to get put on a big tech list or on a government list, and in some way in the future it's going to come back to bite them in the butt. So I think the polls moving forward for this country will forever be screwed. The way that our country is so divided, and unless we come together, nobody's going to trust telling a pollster how they really feel and who they're really going to vote for. But I found this graph amazing because it shows when Trump had the assassination attempt at Butler and how he jumped up in the polls. It shows the whole Biden downfall after the debate, the Kamala rise because she's the new candidate, and they were just hoping for anybody to, pick up the ticket and go against Trump. So she started gaining a lot of momentum going up in the polls, but she leveled out quickly. And now here we sit 2 days before the election. You've got a 9-point lead with Trump, which is far outside the margin of error. And I've always told myself that Trump's got to win by at least +5. If not, then I think we have a problem, and I think we all know why. I'm not going to say it on social media platforms.
I mean,
but
every time Kamala talks, her damn numbers go down. That's why she didn't go on Rogan.
Yeah, she should have taken the Rogan interview. He should have done at least 2 hours in his studio and just sat. He would have been very fair with you, Kamala. If you went on Rogan, he would not. If you've watched him, you know he's very fair. He takes people. This is why people love Rogan.
He'd probably been the best interview for her because
without a doubt,
he wouldn't have argued with her.
Without a doubt. I mean, he may push back on a couple of things, but he's not an interviewer. He's a podcaster. He's simply there to have a conversation with you like you're talking to a friend. So yeah, he's right. John's right. He's not going to push you. He just wants to talk to you and get to know who you are. So if you see this, you need to call Rogan and schedule immediately because there's only 2 days left. But I feel that your fate is already in the hands of God or whatever, and I don't think that I don't foresee you winning this election. But if whoever's watching this video, you got to get out there and vote, man. Every vote does count. If you're in a swing state, it is imperative that you get out and vote for whoever your candidate is. But do not hold back. Don't think
trust
your vote
the drop
don't matter.
boxes. They're setting them suckers on fire.
And that's not even an allegedly thing. It's all over the news. The drop boxes are going up in flames. But everybody needs to go out and please go vote for whoever you think is going to represent this country moving forward the best for the next 4 years. Y'all got anything to add to this?
No, sir.
All right. This is JTech Studios. Please hit the like, the subscribe button, ring the bell, and leave us a comment below. Let us know what you think about this polling system through the betting market. We love you, America, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.